BOATIES.
And we are here to do our conclusion of the BOATIES series, YouTube. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, it's the end of Profile and BOATIES.
You go first.
Okay, so from my side, my point of view, we broke up because after a while, I think that, I realized the majority of it after we broke up that I was, unhappy at the location I'm at, and I tried to cope with it. I tried to do different things, but it just wasn't working. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, and we try to do things to help, like we did go to therapy and things like that, but nothing really just seemed to get her out of her funk, I guess. And in turn, her being in a funk kind of put me in a funk, and thus ended us pretty much.
And I think we both changed. We weren't the BOPA and BOATIES anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of sad. But now, so on my side of it, I feel like we broke up. I mean, yeah, because of what she said, because I knew she was going through things and I was trying to write it out as long as I could. And I kind of felt like her going through her things was kind of making me go through things. And in turn, it was really hurting me inside, emotionally, mentally. And I was at the end of my rope to where, I really couldn't do anything about it. Like, I couldn't help anymore. And it just seemed like Philly, going back to Philly, was just going to be the best fit for her because I knew she wasn't happy here. So then we ended up trying to live together for a couple months, which initially it seemed like a good idea. We're actually going to vlog. We're like, this is interesting, let's vlog this. And yeah, it's not a good idea.
Made things worse.
Yeah.
It escalated into, it put us in a really, really bad place. So, I mean, we tried it, for one, we broke up, we separated, but then it was like a big change. So we had to kind of figure things out. And, I had to figure things out on my part. She had to figure things out on her part. And we recently, about a year ago, we just bought the house,
Yeah, we bought the house in 2014.
Well, I'm not talking about a year from here, from now. I'm talking about a year before we broke up. We bought the house.
Yeah.
So, I had to, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And how is this going to work? So it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. She did end up moving, to Philly. And I think that one of the big factors in us, the conflict that had started to rise, was because I had to, actually right before she moved, I had to go drive to Philly to pick up the children. And she was supposed to bring them back, and that kind of caused a lot of friction because I had to do that. And me being, going all in mom mode, I'm protecting the kid and doing what I gotta do, and so then therefore it was kind of like, you can see the kids, but just come here and see them until things get better. So we did that for a while.
So things got complicated again. Why?
Well, when we split up, I really took it horrible. If you guys followed me on Instagram or on Facebook, I lost a lot of weight. I was posting things normally that I normally don't post, because normally I'm a positive person, and I honestly felt dead inside. I felt like I died. And I did have people try to talk to me and help me and stuff like that, but nothing would snap me out of it. And then I met somebody who snapped me out of it and kind of pumped me back up again. So I felt like gave me life, and 3 weeks later, I got married, which I realize now was definitely not the best choice ever. But it is what it is, and it happened. And you know, I do feel like everything happens for a reason, and that person was there when they were there, and positive for me when they were positive for me. And then things kind of went south, and you know, that is what it is. And now I'm in the process. Well, I kind of have to wait a little bit, but I'm going to be getting divorced. But the good part of that is that that whole thing kind of helped with us co-parenting at the end. But in the middle there, after I told Bodhi I was going to get married, how did you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I did feel like, you know, I felt like you were with me for 5 years and we didn't get married.
Which is one of the top questions that people ask, why we never got married.
Right.
And why did we never get married?
Because it was a big deal for me to take my last name. And she said she couldn't take my last name at the moment.
Because I just changed Icy's last name to my last name. And I wanted to wait. So that's the reason. Period.
Well, when you say it like that, it's like dumb reason. But...
Well, it's the truth.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, you know, we were together for 5 years and we didn't get married. And here, you know, after our relationship, you, I mean, like you said, you know,
made the awesome choice to get married
after the 3 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the second thing was, I was like, you know, I was already in the process of like going back and forth with myself whether I should file, you know, because I wanted to have Drake on the weekends unsupervised. I wanted to be able to not just hang out with him here, like would travel all the way out here to hang out with him. I wanted him to come with me, like, you know, to Philly and visit my side of the family and, you know, hang out with his cousins on my side of the family. And it was like, it was hard for me. Like, I didn't know whether it was the right choice to do or the wrong choice. But after she had told me that she was going to get married, all this stuff went through my head. I'm like, well, I'm gonna lose my son. She's gonna take him up and leave and move to a different state, and I'm never gonna see him again.
Which I wasn't, but okay.
But I mean, you know, your mind.
You were taking care of yourself, and
right. I had to.
I understand.
Protect myself, right, so I wouldn't lose him, you know, per se. But so, I mean, I had an attorney already, but you know, I was still going back and forth whether I should do it or not. But after she had told me, I just, that day after I left, called my attorney and said, put the paperwork through. So
yeah, and then like 2 days later at work, I get an email, and I'm like, oh my Lanta, what is this? I felt like my world already crumbled prior, right? And then I built it back up again. And then now it started crumbling all over again because the attorney kind of went hard as far as what the requests were. Very, I feel like, a lot. And it was very overwhelming for me. So I tried to stand my ground as much as I could. And we did argue a lot during that process. And there was a point in time where we did not talk, because every conversation would be an argument, because we felt like we were both fighting for him, you know, and that we were both doing the right thing. But in the end, we ended up coming to an agreement, and it wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. I remember crying, signing it, like, oh my Lanta, you know what I mean? Like, of course, because, you know, I mean, yeah, it is. It's your babies. But I'm sure on her side it was hard too. And I do think about that, you know, now, you know, as far as how hard it must have been for her. But at the same point in time, I was where I was at, you know, and me being here with Drake all the time, I just felt like I had to do what I had to do in order to keep protecting him, you know, if I felt like she wasn't ready. But at the same point in time, since we weren't really talking because we weren't getting along, it was hard for me to tell, is she ready? Can I really trust her now? Can I, you know, it was just a big mess. But ironically, as soon as my relationship ended with my soon-to-be ex-wife, like it was like the next day, boom, our relationship got better. Like I talked to her, you know, I explained everything to her, and she was there for me. And ever since then, she's just like, our relationship has gotten a lot better. Co-parenting has gotten 100 times better, and I think we're in a good place.
Yeah, we definitely are. I feel the same way, which is, you know, it's a good thing. And a lot of people are not going to understand that. But we went through so much, like so much, and
Yeah.
so much emotion, so much like heartbroken stuff. Like it, you know, to get to this point, I feel like, you know, we're stronger,
Definitely.
and we want the kids to see that.
Yeah.
We're okay, you know.
Yeah, and we want them to see us getting along, and we also want couples out there to see that just because, you know, like we went through a lot of hard stuff that we do choose to keep private, because I mean, it, you know, things get bad at some points, and on my side and on her side, on both of our sides. But even when you go through the most craziest things, I mean, look where we are now, and look what we are trying to do, you know, and we're doing it.
Being okay for the kids so they can see.
Yeah, and showing people. Yeah, and sorry, the video cut out, but you know, we want to show people that even though, you know, you could be going through something really crazy with your baby mama or baby daddy or baby whoever, it can always get better. You know, it can always definitely get better. And I always want to be good for them, good for the kids. And I know whoever is going to end up with me and whoever's going to end up with her is going to have to be really strong people and confident people, because of the fact that we do YouTube videos. And although we're not going to do them anymore together, she'll still be in them, because I mean, the video's going to be about my life, and she's always going to be a part of my life. So yeah, and I'm just really glad at the place that we're at right now. So now I can just, like, you know, do this, and it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, we definitely joke about stuff that we never really joked about before, and not feel any type of way about it. We can just kind of, you know, brush it off and not take it so personal.
Yeah, and like we can talk about stuff, you know, like talk about things that you wouldn't even think we'd ever even be able to talk about ever, because of the fact that we are exes. But it's good. It's good.
Yay!
There's a lot of good memories, and we had a lot of good memories. And even though we're not together, I mean, she's always gonna be my baby mama, a BM, a big old dirty BM.
That sounds so bad.
Doesn't BM sound bad? It does.
It's like big old BM, like you're majorly constipated.
And I pushed you out. That is good. But anyways, we're always gonna, I hope to always be this cool with each other, basically. And yeah, so I guess this is the end of everything, or the end of this chapter, and the end of us doing videos. Not that she won't ever be in the videos, because you'll see her. I'll make her be in the videos.
I mean, Drake is always gonna have some kind of event. You know, he's only 5. But he has the graduation today. He's gonna be playing sports. I'm gonna be coming through and, you know, supporting him. He's gonna have birthday parties. So it's, you know, I'm gonna always be around when he has those events. And who knows? Maybe I'll do my own YouTube channel too. Huh?
Maybe. Too bad we don't have Drake here to close the video, but thank you guys all for watching and for your support over all these years. I mean, you guys have no idea how much you guys have helped us, like from the beginning to the end, the middle, even though at some point in times it was separated a little bit, you know. But either way, you guys were there, and I will always, always, always be appreciative of that and of you guys. And I hope that you guys continue to follow our journey, whether it be on Facebook, on Instagram, on the YouTube channel, just being there, supporting us has been major help. So thank you.
Alright guys, so this is last time I'm gonna bow, right?
Yeah.
For Wolf on Bodhi channel.